Hello and welcome back to another Unity 5 tutorial. In our last session we got our Uma character to walk around in our scene, and now we wanted to move on to something else. So as promised, we want to have a look at giving our Uma some expressions and get him to talk. So before you get all excited and think now finally you will see an easy solution and a few lines of code how to get a perfect lip sync going, this is not what we're gonna produce in this tutorial. We will get some lip movement going and it will respond to the audio we put in, but it will be just a really basic solution. You can tweak it and get it a bit better, but for now we will work with that. Maybe later on I'll come up with something better. I've done some research, and lip syncing is a fairly complex task if you want to do it really accurate. And I guess that's the reason why commercial lip sync products range into thousands of bucks per license seat. Yeah, as said, we're just gonna do a really simple approach, the most simple I could find. And still that will give, even though it will not look like an up to state-of-the-art game, it will give our character a bit more life. And with that, we're also going to set up the expressions so you can play around with that, and that also will again add a bit more life to the character and to your game. So let's get started. The first thing we need is to implement expressions. So in order to do that, I just want to adjust our Uma initializer script. So I double click that, open it up in MonoDevelop. There we are. And the last things we've added was our nav mesh agent and our movement. I'm just gonna comment those for now because they would be kind of in the way for now. So there we go. And now we're gonna add, how do we do that? Expressions. Now the thing with expressions is there is actually a built-in component in the Uma system called Uma expressions. And this one, in order to initialize it, we actually need to have a rendered Uma already. So this poses a bit of a problem. The way we will work around it is create a new script, a C# script, call it Uma expressions. And here we're using Uma namespace. And another one we need, actually don't know if we need Uma. Oh yeah, we do. We are also going to use Uma post tools. So, and here we will have something, just do it public for now, a so-called Uma expression player. We call this expression player. And let's see, we just want to set a flag as well. Public bool ready. And set this initially to false. So this script is meant to initialize our expression player and give us a hint when everything is done. So the first thing we need in our start function is our dynamic avatar. So we need a reference to this one. Get component. So we're gonna add this script, this expression script, to our Uma character. So we can just call get component and get our dynamic avatar. Still, it can be that the timing is a bit off, and at this point we still don't have any UMA data, which we require to set up our expression player. So we just need to have a check if our avatar UMA data is null. That means our UMA has not been initialized yet. Then we just do that. There's this initialize function. And as soon as we got our avatar initialized, we can be sure that there will be some UMA data. And the UMA data has these three events. On character created, destroyed, and updated. Let's see. I think let's look at our UMA here. These are those three events. So you have character created, character destroyed, character updated, and we could just add functions here as well. I just want to do it by script because then it's more automated. But if you have any special needs, if you want to have play a special sound when a character gets destroyed, exploding sound or whatever, or want to do something on creation of a character, then you can add functions here. Let's stop that again. So we're going to use on character created. So then we know our UMA is fully rendered, and then we can add our expressions. So we just what was that? It just all happened by itself. No, we just need to set up a function first. Let's call this void add expressions. This one takes UMA data as a parameter. Let's leave it at that, and now we can add our event function to this event. So UMA will automatically knows that these are the parameters because of this event. Okay, now we need to set up an so-called UMA expression set. And what this is, it basically is a set of expressions. Wow, that was deep. So it's a set of expressions that are bound to a specific race. And that's important to know. So if we have a male character, we need a different expression set than if we have a female character, since we all know that female and male are different races. And that's deep as well, actually. But if we have, for example, an orc or a dwarf or anything like that, all based on our male race, then we can use the same expression set. Let's just, in order to see what this all is, have a quick look in UMA, in our UMA folder. So if you click through content, UMA, humanoid, there we have a folder called expressions. And here we have a folder called expression sets. And there it is, a female and a male expression set. And here are all the parameters you can set in this expression set. So it's a pretty cool system. And as you can see, there's actually quite a whole lot what we can set just for the expressions of our UMA characters. So this is one big reason why I choose UMA at the end for setting up characters in our game, because I really like the amount of parameters that can be adjusted here. Okay, so we set our expression set, and we can do that in referencing the race. So we call our UMA data UMA.UMA recipe.race data dot expression set. By the way, if you followed Secret Anorex tutorials on UMA already, there's not a whole lot of new stuff coming in the next part, but later on we will still do a few different things. So our expression player with not a capital E, expression player equals UMA data. Now we instantiate our expression player on this line. UMA expression player. And assign, we instantiate it, add it as a component, and add it or get a reference to it. So the next thing we need to set is the expression set, of course. So expression player dot expression set equals expression set. And our expression player also needs a reference to the UMA data. So we set it as well. And like our dynamic avatar, our, where is it? Expression player also got an initialize function that will just set up everything the way we need it to. And now there, actually we just do that later. Now we can set at the end ready to true. We don't need the update function. So I saved the script and now we need to head back to our UMA initializer, and all there is left for us to do here for now is to add to our test UMA, add the component UMA expression. Okay, UMA expressions. Mono develop doesn't know that one yet. Okay. I just need to check, there should be an error if it doesn't know it, or maybe Unity is just, mono develop is just a bit slow. Now I'm just gonna disable this UMA, and we're just gonna work with a new test UMA since we've adjusted our script anyways. So here you see we've added our UMA expression script to our character, and as we hit play, hopefully everything works. And let's get this bigger. So now this is the UMA data as we know it to adjust the body of our UMA. And down here, you see the UMA expression player. And if everything worked fine, we can now, just, for example, have our UMA stick his tongue out. Let's look a bit here from the side. So he can do that really well. And what else could we do? If you want, what will be more important for us later on will be the mouse up and, oh no, not mouse up and down, jar up and down, open close, here it is, hello. So yeah, I mean you see now already as I do that it will look a bit goofy, but I mean that's the fun of it, right? And there are a few more things you can adjust though, and if you find some good values, then it might actually look quite realistic. So this is already the start. So if you want to use expressions on your character, then this is the way to do it. You set up, and you can also do that by hand, of course, add an UMA expression player. Actually, I don't know if that works. I've never tried. But yeah, you just, sorry, you add this script and then you're able to change the characters, even the facial look. Like you can just, whatever, get the browse. Okay, that doesn't really do a whole lot, but the nose, like, you know, of course you can use that as dynamic values, but you could also set it as a static value, and then this is just where his nose is positioned. Or if you don't like it, you put it down again. Or if you like it, you just animate it, and it's yeah, shaking up and down all the time. So now this is good. What we've got is we've added expressions to our UMA, and now we've set a ready flag. Actually, let me just add a couple more lines of helpful bools to set on our expression player. So there are a few bools up here. One is enable blinking, one is enable saccades. And you see, as we check those, our UMA is blinking, and he will just randomly look his eye movement. You can see that hopefully, like, he will just randomly look to places. This is the saccades we've enabled. And those two, I think, are just really nice random movements that give him already a bit more life without us doing anything really. So we set enable blinking to true, and we set expression player enable saccades to true. Okay, now time is racing forward. So let's create another script in our scripts folder, and just stop there for now. And we're gonna call this, I should have called it NPC expressions. Well, never mind. Let's stick back to that convention. NPC simple lip sync. So this will really be just a simple lip sync what we're gonna work on. And open that up in MonoDevelop. And the idea of what we're doing is we're gonna get an audio file. So we can already set up a few variables. So we have let me first finish that. So we're gonna get an audio file, and we're gonna declare a bandwidth of frequencies that are relevant to us. So if we say we have a male voice, then we can set it maybe between 300 and let's say 300 and 600, 800,000 hertz. And in this range, we're gonna take samples. We're gonna measure the volume of those samples. We're gonna average all the volumes. And this will be a value we use in order to say, now audio is playing, or it's not. So UMA, what we need is, of course, our UMA expressions script. Oh man. So, and we need an audio source. I'm just gonna keep it private for now. Audio source. Let's call this NPC audio. What's wrong with my writing today? Okay, and we'll just leave it for that. Now we in the next session we will fill this script and get some values out there. But for now, we want to go back to our initializer script, and there we now need to add a few more things. We call this speech, and what I want to do is give one audio source to our UMA, so he can play all the speech clips on that audio source. So we do that like so. And Then I just want to get a reference to test audio. I'm just gonna use the same way of searching through our assets folder. You can also do it in a different way and just put the clip in directly. That's faster and easier. But since this is still our test UMA script, yeah, it just makes sense for me to do it this way because I want to just click one button and our test UMA is there set up to do things. We also have to clean up later on everything we've done with our NPC object where we put in the waypoints and everything. So we're still gonna implement that in the UMA initializer later. For now, let's focus on that. We have an audio file which will be named test audio, or let's even make sure that this is a name you would not use anywhere else. So, and then we get a path from it, and we will set our audio source dot clip with an audio clip on our test audio's path. So I hope I got everything right. Well, it should be all right. And the last thing we need to do is add our script that we're going to write next time to our UMA. Add component UMA, sorry, not UMA, NPC simple lip sync. So, and in order to be, there's an error. Need to check if everything's working all right, so I'm just going to delete that one. So as I play, there's no error. That should be okay then. Now there was just an error as I initialized because we don't have this test audio yet. Let's just have a quick look. I've just gotten a website where you have just some test files. Can we hear that?
Lid on the smooth planks. Glue the sheet to the dark blue background.
So yeah, that's just some gibberish where someone is talking, and we can use this file. I hope that the quality is good enough for what we need. So this is the link. I will put it in the description of this video. And you can just right click, save as, and use the file, import it into Unity. Actually, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that in between this video and next video. I'm gonna get it in here, and then in the next video, sorry, in the next video we're gonna work on our simple lip sync script. We're gonna fill that up, and at the end of next tutorial, hopefully our UMA will move his mouth somewhat in sync with the audio we hear. So I hope you're excited for that, and see you next time. Bye.